Hi everyone, it's Terry here from nutsaboutsstamping.com. In this video I'm going to introduce two brand new Occasions catalog products and show you how to use them to make a super cute birthday card. If you have placed regular orders with me, you should have received the new Stampin' Up! Occasions catalog in the mail from me, along with the celebration catalog, but we'll talk about that another time. And in this catalog, there are two products that caught my eye right away. The first one is this photopolymer stamp set. It's called Piece of Cake. It has 21 photopolymer stamps in the set, and they're all cakes or embellishments for your cake, and then some really cool phrases. So we're going to use that to make our birthday card today. And the second product that I want to introduce to you is the Gingham Gala Designer Series Paper Pack. I introduced this already on a Facebook Live, so if you are one of my followers on Facebook, you'll want to link over there and have a look at the video where I show you the Gingham Gala paper. But what I love about it is that there's two sides, the big checks, and this is the side with the small checks. So it comes in Balmy Blue, Calypso Coral, Daffodil Delight, Highland Heather, and my all-time favorite color, the Lemon Lime Twist. But I'm going to use a piece of the Highland Heather today for the card. So let's get started. I've got my two stamps mounted. I've got the cake base, and then I've got one of the cake toppers. It's the one that's kind of modern looking. And I have a scrap piece of Whisper White cardstock, and I am going to stamp first and then color. I'm going to use my Memento Tuxedo Black ink. I've chosen this ink because I know I'm going to color, and I don't want my color to run, so I'm using a permanent ink. And a little bit of a unique thing about this stamp set, when you're putting it together, what I have found easiest when you're doing the top, the cake piece and then the stand, I would start with the cake top first, stamp it down, and then I would do the base. There we go. I didn't have it mounted quite properly. So you can look down and you can line up the base perfectly. See how that works? So I started with my top and then did the base. And then what I'm going to do is bring in one of the phrases that simply says happy birthday, and I'm going to ink it up as well, and I'm going to stamp it down at the bottom of my Whisper White layer. Perfect. So I'll clean everything in a minute. What I want to do now is bring in my Highland Heather ink pad, and I'm going to use a blender pen. In a blender pen you get a set of 3, and they're for blending water-based inks and for coloring. So what I'm going to do is use my blender pen, and I'm just going to touch it lightly into the ink pad, pick up some of the ink, and then I'm going to color the polka dots on this cake, and I'm also going to color the stripes. So I will go ahead and do that, and I'll be back in a minute and I'll show you what it looks like when it's all finished. There we go. I also went ahead and colored the cake stand, the top part of it, the middle stripes, and then the bottom of it, just to pull everything together and color coordinate it. And if you haven't used blender pens before, the way that you clean your blender pen is just take a scrap piece of paper. I use a scrap piece of grid paper. And you're just going to run the blender pen gently by rubbing it on the side until it runs completely clear. And then you know that all of the ink that you've picked up from the blender pen is gone and you're ready to use a different color. Okay, so I will finish cleaning that in a minute. One other tip I have for you here is that if you want to have a card that's not monochromatic, monochromatic being one sole focus color, in my case it's the Highland Heather, you could do a second color on the stripes and then around the cake, and then layer that second color in or add some embellishments so that you have more of a two-tone cake. I'm really happy with how mine is looking, so I'm going to go ahead and complete my card. My card base is going to be Whisper White. This week I've cut it 11 by 4 1/4 and scored it at the 5.5 mark. And then to that I'm going to add 2 layers to the front. I've got the Gingham Gala in the excuse me, in the Highland Heather. So I'm going to adhere that on the top, and then I'm going to do some solid Highland Heather on the bottom. And I'm going to use the larger gingham facing out. So I'll add that layer first, and then I'm going to do the solid underneath. This card is super quick and easy to create. You don't need a lot of supplies. You really only need the paper and the ink and the stamp set. Okay, and then I have a little piece of basic black. I have kept this little scrap, and so I'm going to use it up. And I'm going to layer this across the middle of the card where the 2 different papers come together, kind of like a belt or a belly band. There we go. And then I'm also going to layer the cake Whisper White piece on top of a piece of basic black so that everything is pulled together like so. And then I'm going to simply add my cake to the front of the card. Now I'll give you another tip. This is nice and easy because you can line it up with the plaid pattern, and that way you know you're straight. There we go. So if you wanted to take this card to another layer, or another level, I guess you would say, you could emboss this bottom Highland Heather layer. You could make it a circle or an oval instead of a rectangle. And the other thing is we've got several embellishments in the catalog, and this is a product that you can earn for free through Stampin' Up's celebration. There is ribbon to match, so you get 5 bolts of ribbon that match the Gingham Gala paper. And so I have the Highland Heather ribbon, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a nice little knot across the top of my card to finish it off. I'll do that after the video is over because it takes me a while to add a piece of ribbon and tie it in a knot, and you don't want to watch me do that. But what I will do is I will have a completed photo of this card over on my blog. So head on over there when you finish watching this video and you can see a final photo of the card. I'll also have a link of all the supplies that I used, a link to my online store in case you want to place an order for these products. What you need to know is that these products in the Occasions catalog don't go live until January 3rd. So this is a little bit of an anticipation. I wanted you to have a sneak peek of some of the new products that are coming out so that you can start making your wish list now. While you're on my blog, don't forget to subscribe to my newsletters. I send a free newsletter every week, and I'll show you a project idea you won't see anywhere else. So that way you'll have lots of ideas for crafting when it comes time at your house to do something special for you. I'm Terry. I am Nuts About Stamping. Don't forget to make something beautiful today too. Bye for now.